Right, listen up. You're training hard, or at least I hope you are. You're trying to eat right, but that stubborn bit of extra padding, that extra bit of belly fat just isn't shifting. Very frustrating, I know. And if you're a business leader over 40, there's a good chance stress, sleep, and your hormones are actually playing a much bigger role in this whole fat loss game than you might think. We're talking more than just counting calories or hitting the gym. So let's jump into this and talk about why you're struggling to lose that belly fat. First off, let's talk about the big one, cortisol. Your demanding job, or at least I imagine it's very demanding. Most of my clients have a demanding job, and I know the struggle it is. And even for myself, speaking to my team, family life, it can be a struggle. And if it gets too much, it's basically like a constant alarm going off in your body, cranking up your stress hormones. And no, this isn't just about being tired or stressed. You see, high cortisol actually tells your body you're in a state of emergency. It's like it calls out, it's right, emergency, hold on to every bit of belly fat, especially that down there around the belly. We might need that. So it's like sticking a padlock on your belly fat, and it obviously makes it very difficult to get rid of that fat when you've got the padlock on there. Plus, it also messes with your blood sugar, making you crave all sorts of naughties. It's a bad cycle, and it's a tough one to break. Now on to your sleep. I bet you're sacrificing precious sleep because you're either working late, checking emails, or you're making late night calls. It's a big mistake. Now, don't get me wrong, I know there are times where we have to work late and the things come in, but if this is something that's constant, it's really going to slow down your progress. So when you don't get enough decent sleep, your body basically throws a hormonal tantrum. It pumps out even more cortisol, and at the same time, it cuts back on the good stuff, like growth hormone, which actually helps you burn more fat. Plus, being sleep deprived just makes you hungrier and more likely to raid that biscuit tin. Honestly, for any real progress, you need to aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. I know you've heard this before, but it is important. You might need to ask why you're always working late or struggling to sleep. Maybe it's a case of delegation, setting better boundaries, but you need to take a step back and realize what's going on and try and fix it. With that being said, if you're just faffing around on LinkedIn late at night, you need to have a word with yourself and ask yourself what's going to give you more value from your life. Is it the phone faffery or an early night, which could mean you can then get in an early morning workout the next day before the chaos kicks off. Now, moving on from there, let's talk about your energy. When you combine high stress with poor sleep, you know what you get? Absolutely zero oomph, no vavavoom. When you're constantly running on fumes, hitting the gym feels like climbing Ben Nevis in a pair of flip-flops. And as for cooking healthy meals or just eating healthy meals in general, forget about it. If I'm tired or stressed and someone puts a chocolate cake in front of me, guess what? I'm going to eat it. I'll have zero willpower. Hold my hand up. Absolutely. I'm going to eat the cake, and I'm sure it might be the same for you. You reach for those quick energy fixes, another cuppa, a sugary snack, which only fuels the cortisol monster and makes everything worse. It's a bit of self-sabotage, really. And then there's the sneaky one, alcohol. You might think a nice glass of wine or a pint helps you unwind after a long day, but if your goal is to lose fat and improve your health, alcohol is actually a massive cortisol spiker. So especially as we get a bit older, booze absolutely batters your sleep quality, and if you're regularly having a few, your body just sees it as another stressor. This pushes those cortisol levels even higher, putting the brakes on your fat loss and leaving you feeling even more rotten the next day. And speaking of quick fixes, let's talk about the old caffeine habit. Now, a bit of coffee is fine, or a cup of tea. I love a couple of coffees in the morning, then I'll switch to tea. No problem with that. But if you are constantly relying on endless cups of coffee, or even worse, the fizzy energy drinks, those Monster drinks and God knows what, Red Bull, all those sorts of things, no, you're just asking for more cortisol. Your body reacts to it like a mild emergency, keeping you in a state of hyper alertness that just isn't helping with fat loss or that stress or that crash that might come later on. It's a bit like revving your engine and just staying in neutral in all day. All right, that's not what we want. And finally, let's look at your training. That's if you're even able to do any training. But let's just say you are. Are you training smart? If your body's already under immense strain from work, rubbish sleep, a bit too much booze, and you're living on caffeine, then absolutely thrashing yourself in the gym might actually be a very bad idea. Just adds more stress. So yes, you guessed it, even higher cortisol. So sometimes less is generally more effective. So focus on smart resistance training and low intensity cardio to support your body rather than giving it another kick in the teeth. So even if it's just walking. So I've actually said to clients in the past, if you're feeling worn out, then it's probably better to get your head down for a bit, get some sleep, than force a mediocre workout. So what's the answer to all of this? Well, you don't need another fad diet or some extreme workout plan. What you need is a strategic, no-nonsense approach that tackles the root causes head on. So here's a sensible action plan. First, prioritize sleep. You'll hear me say this again and again. If you watch my videos, if you follow me on LinkedIn, sleep, it is critical. Schedule it in your diary like that crucial client meeting. Set a bedtime alarm. Create a strict, calming bedtime routine. No doom scrolling. Get off LinkedIn. The alarm on my watch works a treat. So if you are struggling to get to bed at the right time, mine goes off at 9 o'clock. Set it on your phone, on your watch. Wind down, name it, okay? Yes, you can ignore it, but it'll give you that cue to get yourself upstairs, wind down, turn screens off, read a book, something along those lines. But don't stare at your screen late at night, big problem. And absolutely never take your phone to bed. Second, get a grip on your stress. Find your personal escape hatch, whether it's meditation, a good old walk, reading a proper book, as I mentioned, whatever calms your nerves and takes your mind off of work. Okay, that's important. Then be mindful of your intake. Have a good honest look at your alcohol and caffeine habits. Even small cuts can make a surprisingly big difference. Next, focus on proper fueling. Stick to whole, unprocessed foods. Drink plenty of water. I usually recommend at least 3 liters a day. If you're a bigger guy like myself, then up to 4 liters. Keep it simple, keep it sensible. Yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. You're going to have to fight some cravings, but stick with it. Those cravings will subside. You'll feel much better for it, and your energy will pick up as well. And finally, strategic movement. Do your resistance training. I'm all for that. I totally recommend that. But balance it with activities that genuinely de-stress you. A nice walk without your phone, a game of tennis with a friend, some gentle stretching, and even some meditation if you find that helps. So remember this, once you hit 40, your body truly plays by a different set of rules. You need to work with it, not against it, if you want to shed that stubborn belly fat for good. If you have any questions, just drop them down below. More than happy to help. And if you feel like you need some help putting all of this together with structure, daily accountability, then click the link below to find out more about our Elevate program. That's all from me for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.